And we are live. Welcome to the channel. I'm Derek's Reptiles. This is Big Reptile Talk with Big Gavin. How you doing today, brother?
I'm all good, brother. You okay?
I can't complain, man. Can't complain, man. You
That's all good, man.
you a legend in the game, man. So tell me about the name Balls2U, man. How did you come up with that?
Yeah, so it came about because back in the day, it was very difficult to get help and accept, people to come and help you. And I reached out to a few breeders and they refused to help me. However, when I wanted to buy a snake, then they were my best friend. Then they wanted to know me. So I quickly worked out that it was a kind of a pay to play type situation. And the whole Balls2U came from like, you know what, if you're not going to help me, I'm going to help myself and I'll teach other people, So that's why the whole Balls2U, which is English for,
I love that.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, it was a tongue-in-cheek name. It just came about and it stuck,
I love that, man. I love that. And I see that your passion is ball pythons, man. So what draws you to that species specifically? Like why is it ball pythons for you?
Do you know what, Derek? I've had a number of species over the years and I just find I just gravitate towards them, I understand them a bit more. I can read them a bit easier, and what quickly became, I wanted a python that wasn't so big, that I could keep, and yeah. Little did I know it was going to turn into such a massive obsession and an awesome hobby. I love all species. If I'm honest with you, Derek, I've had all sorts. But ball pythons for me is they just fit and tick every box,
I feel that. Man, I'm excited. Miguel's sending me a ball python.
Wow, that's all good, man. That's all good.
I'm excited. I can't wait to do the unboxing, man. Now,
yeah, man.
In my collection, I have a small collection. I live in an apartment, so I don't have a lot of space.
Yeah.
I have like 8 animals. I'm curious, how many do you currently have in your collection right now?
Well, you like rosy boas, don't you?
I love rosy boas.
Yeah, awesome. So that's one species I haven't had yet. But at the moment, I've probably got about, I want to say about 250 ball pythons at this moment. Obviously, with hatching season, that's probably going to hit the 500 mark. But obviously that'll, once I decide what I want to keep and what I'm going to sell, then obviously that'll come down a bit, but roughly about 200, 250, something like that.
That's a insane amount of snakes, man. I'm jealous, man. That would be amazing to have that many snakes, man. Now, I know you make a lot of different morphs. Like right now, what's your favorite snake that you got in your collection right now?
Right now, I'm really excited. Oh, God, there's so many, but I think every one that I keep is my favorite, or it's part of a project. It's very difficult, Derek, when you're hatching these, even normals. I find it hard to let go because I see something unique in them, but I have to think logically. But I've got one of my favorites at the moment is I produced last season an Enchi Orange Dream Firefly Clown, Mojave Clown, which for me was just, when I cut the eggs, I got the original dad from Aussie Boyd, and I had to phone him and say, Oz, what have I hit? It was really crazy. It was nuts. So yeah, but just, I love them all, man. That's why I've got so many projects on the go, because I love everything I'm working with. I just love, and I can't wait to progress.
Man, bro, with ball pythons, man, and all snakes really just in general, you're so knowledgeable, man. Like, were you like self-taught? How long did it take you to become like the legend you are?
Thank you. I wouldn't call myself a legend, but I try and represent the UK as best as possible. But you know what, Derek? So I'm not the cleverest or the sharpest tool in the toolbox, you know. But when I find something, I just absorb the information like a sponge, yeah. And just over the years, just listening to people, reading stuff, watching videos, you know, going on the forums, reading stuff. And there was stuff back in the day that was being said that you kind of take on board. And as you get further into the hobby, you sort of realize that actually that wasn't true. But, you know, you absorb it all in. So I love learning, you know, anything, you know, even this year, I've done something which I'm going to release a video on, which is a new technique that I've learned, which I learned this year, you know. So every year, we're only, what, 30 years, really? 30 years in breeding ball pythons in captivity. That's nothing. 20 years in, you know, in the mainstream, if you like, you know. So 30 years breeding, we've still got a lot to learn, you know. I've learned myself, I've made mistakes, you know. I think a mistake is worth making as long as you learn by it, you know.
Man, that just I couldn't agree with you more, man. Now, with your collection being so big, what's the worst bite you ever took?
The worst one I took was off, believe it or not, off a king snake. And it wasn't one of mine. I wasn't very old. I was probably about, I want to say 13, 14. And I love watching Steve Irwin and all the usual stuff, as we all do. And I remember going around my friend's house, and his dad had a brick outbuilding in the back of his garden. And it was nuts because I'd never seen it. It was like a mini reptile zoo in his back garden. And I remember going through, and you go through the first door, and there's like a rodent room. And then you go through the next door, and you're in the reptile room. And I remember going in, and my mate's dad, Steve, he said to me, he said, do you want to hold a snake? I was like, yeah, okay. So he got this king snake out for me, and he bit and sort of bit my hand and latched on. I was just like, it probably was nothing, but at the time, it was massive, you know. I was like, ah, like this. I was going nuts. To the point where I think even now it sort of made me have a fear of being bitten. Yeah. So soft as it sounds, I always try and avoid being bitten. And probably, I don't know, probably get bit probably once or twice a year, if that. But, you know, I always treat them with respect. But yeah, the king snake, it probably wasn't that bad. But at the time when you're 13 and 14 and you see these little pin marks and there's blood gushing, you know, you just think, my hand's going to fall off, you know. But yeah, that's based. Yeah, nothing crazy, you know.
Now, I couldn't agree with you more because I have a king snake, and they bites don't hurt, but it's that shock value.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So bro, now I look up to you, man. You a dope breeder, man. I'm kind of curious, who are some of the breeders that you admire?
I'm going to be a bit cliche, but there's lots of people I look up to, and we're going to talk. You know, if we're going to talk out, like I looked up to Chris Jones here in the UK. Chris is just getting out. He's a great breeder. I look up to obviously Justin Kabelka, Ozzy Boyds. Me and Ozzy are very similar, and the way I look up to Ozzy is because he likes to do different things. I like to do different things, so we connect on that. Mark Mendek from Marcus Jane. Mark's an amazing guy. You know, and they're just to name a few, you know. And there's a couple of breeders here in the UK that I look up to who aren't well known. A good friend of mine, Phil, he's out the hobby now, but he still keeps. But you know, he sort of drove my, you know, he helped me a lot. I was phoning him and stuff like that. So I think inspiration can come from all avenues. You know, I look up to people like that, but I also look up to new people coming into the hobby. You know, because sometimes new people coming into the hobby doing different things, you know, looking at different angles, and I take something from everyone that inspires me and what drives me forward, you know, and all the people that sort of you know, give me shout outs and all that on Instagram and YouTube, and people like yourself having me on these sort of interviews. It inspires me and it drives me forward, and it's all good, man. It's all good, you know.
Love that. Now, I love what you're saying. Now, talk to me about the Balls2U headquarters. If I was to visit it, what could I expect to see?
Oh yeah, well, obviously COVID created a massive issue for everyone. The whole Balls2U HQ is designed for, you know, I've got a lot of friends over in the States. I wanted to create a headquarters, if you like, for people in the States when they come over, you know, look after them. They could come here. We could do, because I try and do Balls2U meetings, breeder meetings within the UK. And I like to try and get people in, and sort of we hosted a local venue, that sort of thing. So the whole Balls2U HQ is designed to be entertaining, a chill area, educational, you know, that's it. And I want it to be a place where people can come, like where we are now. We're kind of in the little lobby area, yeah, and sort of like where people can have a drink and sit and talk and chat and go on the internet. But then, you know, we could have a few people in the breeding room chatting, talking, breeding. You know what I mean? It's a whole. I want it, and it is a whole a place where people can come and just be inspired, not just by me, but by other breeders that are here. So the whole HQ thing for me is like a central network for everyone, either in Europe or the US or Canada, to come over and yeah, just hang out, you know.
Well,
geek out over snakes and projects.
That's on my list to do. Come to the UK and visit the Balls2U.
You're welcome.
Now,
the HQ's always open, Derek.
Now, I'm curious, what's the most expensive snake you sold?
Okay. It's not that much. I tend to, so it was around about, well, I did an exchange. Okay, we did an exchange. The value of that was about £12,000 or $15,000, probably. In, yeah, so we did an exchange.
$10?
Yeah, we did an exchange.
That's mind blowing, man.
Yeah, you know, it's, and the craziest thing is, Derek, is I've been to the US, I've been to Canada, obviously I live in the UK, and when you go and see both ends of the spectrum, you get an understanding of how the US and Canada is completely different to the UK and Europe. And you know, over here, a lot of people don't like to talk money. You know, they don't like to talk or put a value on an animal. But the reality of it is, you know, it comes hand in hand. Yeah, money, you're breeding, I breed for myself, but obviously I'm going to sell my surplus animals. So I've got to sell them, and I'm not going to sell them under the market value. I'm going to go with the market value, you know. So you've got to work with things, you know, you've got to work with the market value.
I agree. Now, with you being a breeder, talk to me about the orange dream morph. How did you come up with that?
So the Orange Dream, obviously Ozzy Boyds was the guy that founded the Orange Dream. And for me, the Orange Dream is just, it works so well with dark mutations and light mutations, you know. It's just a fantastic gene to get into, and it works really well in recessive as well. But the Orange Dream is just it's just awesome, you know. But there's lots of genes out there, you know, we can geek over, you know. But Orange Dream is a special gene. Like I said, it works well with dogs, well with light coloured animals. But yeah, it's an awesome gene. Awesome.
Okay. Now, I've been thinking about getting into breeding, so of course I will be a new breeder. Give me some advice. What's your best advice for new breeders?
The first thing I say to people is work with something you want to work with, something that interests you. Yeah, because the one thing that this hobby teaches us, or this industry teaches us, is patience, persistence, and perseverance. Yeah, it's like watching paint dry, you know, waiting for the female to lay those eggs, put them in the incubator, wait for them to hatch, you know, get them feeding, and then see what you've got. So patience is a massive part of this, and you've got to work. I say to everyone, work with what you like. Yeah, because trust me, and I've seen too many people over the years come and go when they're working on a money basis. So they get sold the dream and say, oh yeah, guess what? You can make loads of money doing this. But they're not the right people to do it, because they're not interested in the animals. They're just more interested in the money. And because the money as an investment doesn't come round so quick, then they kind of get burnt out and leave. But if you work with projects that you enjoy, whether it be recessive, I don't know, incomplete dominance, whatever you like, just work with the projects that you like, learn the process, and then work from there.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, man. Now, I know you got the Balls2U headquarters, but what's that personal collection look like at home? What you got in your collection?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the HQ is at the end of my property.
Oh, okay.
So there's good and bad with that. So, like now, I can be, you know, I can go, I'm just going to go and check on some snakes, do you know, and I could be up here for like an hour or 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you can get lost, you know, but I love it, you know. You know, let's put it like this. There's a lot more worse hobbies out there that we could be doing out there, you know, and getting into all sorts of trouble. You know, this keeps me grounded.
Right. I agree. Now, with you being in the UK and me being in the United States, they are doing a lot of reptile bans over here. Are you kind of them doing any bans in the UK?
No, no, but I'm a massive US ARC supporter. And the reason for that, Derek, is because if we don't all group together, whether you breed ball pythons, breed leopard geckos, whatever, if we don't band together and support each other, then just because we're in the UK doesn't mean that our government won't see the legislation that's happening over in America and go, do you know what? It's worked over there. It could work here. Let's implement it over here. So we need to all support each other and stop it, or slow it down, and try and stop it from getting out of control. Because once they've come after the reptiles, they're going to come after the dogs and cats. You know, right. It's as simple as that. And people think dogs and cats are domestic and they're not going to come after them. Well, guess what? They're already trying to ban certain species of dogs. Yeah. So the proof's there. So we need to all band together and support each other. And it doesn't matter if you're a reptile keeper, if you're a dog keeper or a cat keeper or a hamster keeper, whatever. As people who enjoy our animals and enjoy pets and working with what we do, we've got to all stick together and support USR.
Man, that's an answer from a legend, y'all. We got 22. Man, I appreciate that. With the egg cutting, man, you're really good at it. How did you learn how to do that, man? Are you self-taught?
Yeah, I mean, I had a bit of guidance, obviously, and you know, you learn. You know, in the industry, we have like a guideline of when to cut and what have you. But couple of years ago, he kicked off real bad that there was a lot of hate going on, attacking breeders for cutting eggs, you know. And Derek, I've saved so many babies by cutting the egg and seeing that their umbilical cord is wrapped up, and I've untangled them, that for me, that outweighs any reason why we shouldn't cut eggs. What you must do is you must be sensible and you must be patient. Yeah, a lot of people want to cut eggs too early. I don't condone that, but it's their eggs, it's up to them. But for me, it was all self-taught. I watched people, I saw videos, I did my research first before I just went and cut eggs. But if anyone's out there looking at cutting eggs, research, you know.
I agree with you. Now, with you being a breeder, with breeding, what's the hardest part? I feel like the hardest part of breeding snakes. What do you think it is?
It's none of this is easy. Yeah. And a lot of people go, oh, it's easy, anyone can do it. If that was the case, then we'd all be breeding reptiles and we'd all be millionaires. Yeah. It's not easy. But what you have to do is pay attention to your animals. You have to learn their characteristics. You have to see what they're doing, because like I said, we have guidelines. You know, breed a female at 2 years of age, or, you know, into its third winter, or, you know, a male at, you know, a year of age. And, you know, we have all these guidelines, but you have to, everything in this hobby, you know, even now the females can throw curveballs, you know. I'm collecting data. I'm very much a data type of guy, because my data speaks for my results, you know, it speaks for itself. And I'm collecting data that kind of contradicts what we thought we knew. So we're constantly learning, but the hardest thing is just trusting the process. I have a lot of people who say to me, Gav, I don't think I'm going to get eggs, you know, but just trust the process, keep going, yeah, and it'll come. But all of it can be very difficult some way or another. Some people say that getting the hatchlings to feed after they've hatched out is difficult. You know, it's all difficult. If it was easy, like I said, everyone would be doing it, you know.
Right.
But you got to, yeah.
That makes me think about it. So now, with you having 20K subs, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had 20K subs, I'm coming out the house with glasses on, and I'm saying no pitch, no pitch. And how does that feel, knowing 20,000 people to you?
Do you know what? As long as I can help one person succeed, that's all I'm bothered about, Derek. You know, me and Miguel used to chat a lot, and we still do. And I remember him coming to me and asking me for help. And I think he had like 300 subscribers, something like that, you know. And we used to chat and stuff. And it's so good to see people do really well with subscribers, you know. I think it's awesome. For me, I just want to help people, you know. We all love to see the numbers grow. Yeah, we all love to play that game.
Right.
But if I can just help one person make it and succeed with their first clutch of eggs, that's what it's all about for me, brother.
I felt that right there, brother.
That's what it's all about. You know?
Now, talk to me about the snake you got from Billy, the pastel inchy freeway clown for 20,000. What is it?
Oh, bro, that was a complete and utter joke. So what happened was, me and Austin, we come up with this plan, and I said, let me post a video, let me do a video, get me some footage of this snake that I knew Billy loved. Yeah, he just hatched, he was one off, and it was pure clickbait. And I don't do much clickbait, but that was pure clickbait. And it was purely for Billy, you know, just to try and get him to go, what? That's my snake, you know? And I got Austin to film it in a way that it looked like I was unboxing it. Yeah. But I wasn't, you know. But it was good. It was all good fun, you know. And that's the thing, you know, we can all have good banter and, you know, it's all good. You know, it's all good.
Silly, man. I got to work on my clickbait skills, man. But you and a couple other y'all are silly, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? Clickbait is okay. And the one thing is with clickbait is some of it's harmful, like harmless, if you know what I mean. Yeah, as in like there's truth in it. Yeah, there's truth in the matter. And then some of it is like, what? You know, like we're having issues at the moment with some YouTubers who've got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're pulling out berms from storm drains, and they're pretending that the snake has come from this drain. You know, now that's the harmful side of things. You know, that yes, they've pulled it out and there's some truth in it, but really they've put the snake there. You know, and there's a lot of BS going on like that isn't helping our industry or our hobby, and you know, we've got to stop that. But little stuff like what Brian Cusco did with the hog nose, yeah,
got a venomous snake. I said, this dude, he gonna pull out a hog nose. I said, silly.
Yeah.
Now, being a breeder, can you remember the first snake you sold?
Yes and no. We were back in the day. We were working with like posset albinos. You know, when we were breeding posset albinos together to try and produce an albino. And this, you got to bear in mind, here in the UK, we were probably about 5 years at the point behind the US. Yeah. So over here, it was sort of like, you know, I remember, I think I did a trade when my first hatchling that I sold. I think I did a trade with someone, and we traded out the. I think I picked up a couple of corn snakes in trade for this baby ball python. But yeah, that's kind of the first one I remember that rings a bell.
Right. Now, I'm pretty sure they do reptile expos over in the UK.
Yes, sir.
Pretty big in the game. I'm wondering, have you ever had any crazy fans come up to you at the expos?
I'll tell you what was the craziest one. So I went to my brother lives in Paris, and it wasn't at the expo, but he lives in Paris, and I flew out there because we were going out on like on a yacht around the Caribbean islands. Just chill, just me and my brother. But we flew from Paris. So I flew out on the Friday, and I got there the Friday. Sorry, we flew out on the Saturday. I got there on the Friday into Paris, and I linked in with my brother, and we're on the underground in Paris, and this guy's come over going, excuse my accent, he's going, hey Gavin. I turned around and I've looked, and it's this dude, he's come running over. Hey Gavin, balls to you. And I've gone, and obviously he's not French. He's from Texas. Yeah. So I've got this Texas dude in the middle of Paris shouting me, hey Gavin, can we get a picture? So of course my brother's with me, and I'm there, and I'm like, yeah, of course, let's get a picture. So we got a picture, and I got onto the underground, onto the train, and my brother said to me, he looked at me, he went, does that happen a lot? I went, yeah, a few times, you know. And I proper played it down. But this Texas dude, you know, you imagine you're in the middle of Paris. There's a guy from Texas, and he's shouting at me, and he's, you know, and I'm like, so that was the craziest one. And when I was at the expo, there's a couple of people. I don't know if you watch Snakes in the City. Have you ever seen that? Okay. So Simon and Susie were there at the show, and they walked past my table, and I shouted, Simon, and he's turned around, he's looked at me, he went, and I went, He went, you're on YouTube? And I went, yeah, and you're on TV. And he went, yeah. So we had a picture. And what was crazy was his guy that was with him, who took the picture, like he watches me on YouTube and I watch him on TV. But to me, he was the star, if you know what I mean. And he was just as happy to see me. And we chatted, and his other half at the time, Susie, she was fantastic. And that's just two instances that I can give you. But when I came to Tinley, I was walking across the car park, and there was a couple of people running after me, going, Gav, can we have a picture? Can we have a picture? And that was crazy because it's very rare, UK breeders get a chance to come over to the US. So that was good, but it's all good. I've not had anything like Miguel, though, with him being offered to go in hotel rooms and all that sort of stuff. Not that.
Man, silly. Okay, well, I don't keep you too much longer because I am at work and I'm on break. But I do have a couple more questions. Now, these questions are the hot seat questions.
Let's go.
Now, hot seat question number 1. Have you ever accidentally shipped the wrong snake?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it happens. Do you know what? The biggest breeders in the world do it. It happens. It's how you deal with it, It happens. You just apologize. You put it right. It's all good.
And I'm sure you fixed it and the customer was still happy with it.
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. 100%. So,
Okay.
yeah, it happens.
Now, hot seat question number 2. Venomous free handlers. Do you feel like they ruining the hobby?
Yes and no. And yes, because if they've got a young audience watching it and they're not explaining correctly what they're doing and how long they've been trained to handle venomous snakes, then yes, it could damage it. But what they can do, Derek, they have the power to educate people. So if they educate it and do it properly, then they're not doing too bad. But when they just go, oh, look at this, I got this. No, calm down, They're no Steve Irwin.
Man, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Now, man, before we end this, I'm going to ask you, man, I'm at work right now, but my dream is to do what you're doing. And you live in your dream, so I'm sure it don't even feel like work. How does it feel to be able to go to work and do what you love, man?
So I'm quite fortunate because at the moment I've got a business that I'm running that I'm able to be at home and run from home. So it enables me to work more with the snakes and do more stuff. But I think I'm just blessed. I just look at it and I just think, you know what, I'm blessed. Whether it's a hobby or whether it's a business, if it's something you love, you've got to look at all the positives, and it's not easy. It's not easy. But as long as you've got the right motivation, you do well and you'll be good.
Now, before we end this, are we able to see any cool snakes?
Hold on. Stay there.
All right, I'll wait. Hey, 22 people in the chat. I appreciate you. Hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to Gavin. He's a good dude. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, man. And I got y'all. I'm finna shout us out. I'm finna shout all us out. Oh no, I'm not mad at you, Kurtwood. What's up, Iron Dog? What's up, Kurtwood? My Animal House, J&G. Everybody, man. You fully envenomated, Patty, Marvel UK Balls. I appreciate all y'all, man. I'm honored. Thank y'all for coming, man. Hey, Reptile Feedings, I appreciate that, man. Just hanging out with a cool guy, man. What's up, Moto Danger Zone, man? Where did he go? Oh, he might have hit the wrong button. We'll wait and see if he comes back. We wanted to see some snakes before we ended it. Oh, I'm not going to kill you, Kurtwood. He just got to go into his email and hit that link. I will make Kurt move tonight on my lunch break. I don't know how to do it from my phone. I got to do it from a computer. But I appreciate all y'all, man. 25 in the chat. I'm honored, man. Thank you. Oh, there he is.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep, just fine. Yeah, I can hear you, brother. Take your time. I can hear you. You're freezing up a little bit. Am I freezing up? It looks awesome.
Hopefully.
I can hear you.
Bro.
Can y'all see me and him?
You see this?
I can see it a little bit. Hey man, it's blurry, but I know it's some fire. That's all I'm gonna say. It's blurry, but it's fire.
I think I've lost.
Hey, I can hear you, and I can kind of see you, but hey, don't trip. We know you got some fire in your hands, brother. They say that internet is rubbish. There you are.
I'm back.
Okay, now I can see you. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gorgeous. And what's that morph?
So this is the Orange Dream Enchi Mojave Firefly Clown.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And it's in shed.
And it's still gorgeous.
Thanks.
Man, now how much would something like that run me?
Ozzy reckons it's about $6,000.
$6,000. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Man, you blessing me right now, Gavin. I appreciate you, brother.
You're welcome, man. You're all good. But hopefully that's a little bit of shame we couldn't get a bit more time. I could have showed you a bit more. But yeah, he's
oh no, let me see another one.
See another one?
Yeah. Fire. I'll take a ride up to see that.
Okay. This is for the
Gavin print bulling out that fire. Gorgeous.
You see it, yeah?
See it. Gorgeous.
So that's a banana.
You're a little blurry, but it's gorgeous. Look white and yellow. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Wait till you come back, brother. Internet might be cutting up. No worries while he's kind of freezing up a little bit. If you're watching, I want to shout everybody out, man. My Animal House, Iron Dog, Kirkwood, Cold Blooded Monstars, Not Lou. Oh shit. I want to shout all y'all out, man. Great guys, ball python love, everybody, man, in the hobby. Desert Wolf, Venom Wonderful, um, J&G Reptiles. Great group of guys, man. If y'all watching, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to them. Gavin, I think we losing you, brother. But if you've watched the end of this, hey, there you are. Gavin, I appreciate you coming on. I just want to tell you, I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
My friend.
Your phone's kind of cutting up.
Yeah.
Hey, we having a little technical difficulties. It's all good, man. Gavin blessed us. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure y'all go subscribe to. There you are. There you are. What's up, brother? Let me see that.
We keep going. Yeah, I was just saying, I just want to having me on.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate. I'm honored, man. I'm honored. Hey, I'm honored, brother. We're gonna go ahead and end this. I shouted out all.
That's cool, brother.
I appreciate you for coming on, brother. You a legend, man. You a legend.
Time, Derek.
I'll holler at you, brother. Peace.
You take care. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
That's love. That's love. Peace.